I think what Gwendolyn is saying is that we need a shared space. If we're all the board,
I didn't disagree with that. So I asked where. Did I not ask where?
But isn't there an office?
Well,
Isn't there an office in that
within this
building where you
huge
keep
complex.
stuff? Is that-
Hidden.
If that's River Shores, is that what you say, that's River Shores' office?
Middle River Club rents a space, so to speak, out of there.
Okay, so they should have access to that space.
I don't think the River Shores Board would agree with that.
for $550 a month,
Right.
that's the rent we pay.
So what's
Well-
hiding
And if
in
you're
that?
saying that's all the
That's
items
right.
that we need to house for Middle River Club,
Uh-huh.
I mean.
Well, you could take them. I'm giving them to you.
No, we can find a file cabinet and lock it and keep it in here, so at least we have.
Well, you have to
Access.
understand, people have access to
No,
everything.
It has to be in an office, a closed office. You guys only could have the key.
correct.
Correct,
Right.
but it can be in a locked file cabinet right here. Yes or no? I don't
I
know.
wouldn't trust that.
Okay, how about the closet? Do the closets lock? Do the closets have a padlock?
They don't.
I mean, we lock this office at night, we lock this facility at night.
Right.
River Shores is vast. I'm sure there must be some space that all of us could access that could become the Middle River office.
We're a community, so let's work together.
Peg and Fred, you know River Shores. Where would you put access? Put it down here. There's a closet space.
What are you so
got
afraid
this-
of them going in there for?
I'm deathly, oh God, I'm so
What are you afraid of them
deathly.
going
I'm
into that
deathly,
office?
ooh.
I know, you say.
All right, if there's a closet here,
That's right, for them to go in there, I know.
if there's a closet here that you're
Watch him turn red again.
saying that would fit,
Put them in another light.
I don't know the closet space here. If you're saying there is a closet space here.
Well, wait
we
a
can
minute,
put-
is there not, that one houses the guts. This one
The guts
houses
to what?
the internet.
Getting in there.
Okay.
I want them in there.
The board agreed that River Shores got internets are in there, and Middle River Club gets, and the TV and internet for free. It's an
Okay.
exchange.
Fine,
So, that one you cannot have.
I understand.
I know there's one over here, and I don't know if that's for socials, if that still is. Do you know, Peg?
Yes.
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 I
So-
would be careful before you decide over there, have that inspected for mold. I think there might be mold on that side of the building here, so I don't want you guys to go in there and get anything unhealthy.
I don't know what side or where the space is,
So
so
that's the next
maybe
thing
you
that
could
needs
show
to
me
be
afterwards.
addressed.
Okay.
The ladies keep paper plates and napkins. and
Okay.
such garbage and
All right.
I think the office is the best place.
What-
What about one of those
Well, we'd be able to
cabinets?
You just
save
need a key.
$550 a month if
That's
we're.
right.
They can't have a key.
No, they can't have it.
Yeah.
It's just more to stir the pot, that's all it is.
No, I want things to
I
go
want access.
properly, that we could all get along and live in a peaceful
Really?
place. Yes,
And I'm
I
gonna
do.
work, you know,
If don't
Vincent,
believe it, it's
I
too
am gonna
bad.
work towards that come April. I'm promising this
April,
community.
you could have done it, started this.
Well,
All right.
I have to see what
What's
happens.
gonna happen in
Well,
April?
it's gonna happen.
You keep like, it's like a
It's like
threat.
a threat.
No, it's a promise to the
Okay,
community.
let's go on.
Good, then you leave it.
That's what I just said, you put a file cabinet.
Well, maybe I'll rent out the apartments
And
to
it's-
people
and you
that
want it.
River Terrace may not like.
Exactly.
Just a thought.
We got him
I know.
already. What's one
Is
more?
that a prejudice thing?
What did that do?
Are you saying it's a prejudice thing?
Hey,
I didn't say that.
guys, I'm trying to figure out a
Okay.
space for
Sorry?
I already told you,
Put a file
that,
cabinet
that
back of
office,
one of
there's
those
no reason why
closets
you're
down
not,
Peg,
there's
somebody
no
will break
reason why
into
you
that
two
cabinet.
people should not have access to that office.
Because we're paying $550 a month, and I would like to
You know,
save that for
and
my
I would
building.
no, I would
If it
pay
could be a
that.
file
I
cabinet
would like
over
to,
here, I'd
I'll
rather
pay
do
the
that.
$550 for you to be in there.
Everything is just what?
Make one of those cabinets.
That's what I'm trying to understand.
You could do anything you want.
You
If
said-
it disappears, you know, it,
That's why I can't take a chance.
Uh-huh.
Then it's acceptable.
It may not be a great idea to have it here, so so many people use this space.
But if you have
we
it
can charge
all
for
up
that.
for something, that's,
You can buy all
I
the
said it's for the middle
file
of the river.
cabinets.
I'd like to look into that
Almost
You know,
somehow.
Right, so why don't we just table this for now?
That's
and we'll
fine.
get back to it.
Think about things.
We'll think about
Access
it.
to it.
Okay?
Okay, a place for an MRC either office or file cabinet blocks.
The information that's there on the paperwork and stuff. Scan it on the computer, I don't know, too much. People would just get it on the internet. You have people just.
I don't have internet.
I'm not opposed to that idea, Fred, but who would do all that? Because it's probably a lot of information.
Or we'd have to hire somebody. Yeah, but the idea of the filing cabinet,
Uh-huh.
what if you have one in here, but from the inside you screw it?
Correct.
So you need to lay that
Like a safe.
Yeah. and-
Yes.
Just an idea.
I'd love to see the closet space back there and see what's available.
Oh my God, you ever go in there?
No.
Bicycles, who knows who they are, all kinds of crap.
In there?
Yeah, in there.
Along the back there?
Yes.
Okay, don't, sit.
No, please.
Oh, Denny, sit down. All right,
I'm embarrassed.
we'll look into that, we'll table the issue for now, but it's something to be considered. Thank you.
Close the door and make it like a cabinet.
All right, next.
The removal of the washing machine.
Oh.
We just noticed there's a washing machine out there, it's been there for a while.
Just call him.
What is it? Where did it come from? It's a Steve thing. Is it waiting to be repaired? Is Steve still here? Steve? I'm sorry, Steve? The washing machine over here? Can we get that removed? No problem. Okay. Done.
That's it? Yeah, that's it.
We're gonna have business.
I think we're into 2 hours. Do we really have any other business?
I think it would be there for people in the audience.
I think they've been nothing but for 2 hours listening to them.
Mr. Mask, but
Maybe another 15 minutes?
Are you now entertaining questions on agenda items?
Yes.
Okay,
Wait,
so,
wait,
Penny.
so I have a question.
Yeah.
So Bruce, can you provide some color on the difference between the two bids for the pool deck? I mean, obviously, we have one, bid that's at 30,000, the other one that's at 85,000. Obviously, those are higher numbers today. But, so obviously, those are two different projects.
Two different projects, and they were also done over a year ago.
Right, but can somebody give me some kind of an idea? I'm assuming a $30,000 bid is probably just to store the deck as it is.
Correct.
Okay, and
The
so-
other one
so-
was to pull it all up or
So,
jackhammer it and put a whole new surface down, exactly where the same gate is and on the sides. And it would be. For drainage, yeah. It includes
So I
that.
think
And
when
it
you,
went all the way, it came all the way down to the.
I was asking the board,
To the side panel.
to be perfectly honest with you, okay? I was asking the board for the difference between the two bids. Really wasn't asking anybody.
I turned in the estimate a little over a year ago. I have a copy of it upstairs. I'm happy to show it to you, but I don't know the information off the top of my head.
Okay, but
I
it was
had it-
basically a complete redo.
Yes, I had a
You were
concrete,
pulling it up
contractor come over and take measurements and do the whole thing properly. It was,
May I ask what association you're
When was
with?
the last time that deck was restored? Does anybody know?
2013. What association are you with, sir?
I'm with River Shores.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't remember who you are.
I'm Dave.
Dave? Who?
I'm in Emily's place.
Oh, Bowie. Yeah. What happened, I had sent that out to the other buildings, the two, yeah.
Okay, Steve.
Yeah, okay, so obviously that was before I got here.
okay, so I think from what he said, we need to get estimates from two places, but one with very little work and one with a lot of work.
right,
From both companies, because if it's not the same stuff, you can't say.
correct.
So when-
Well, I think you need a point of clarification. The bid I got, like with the restoration of the River Shores floor, they did whatever was required to restore it accordingly. So if they needed to jackhammer it like they did with River Shores, that's what they did. So, it
I mean,
depends
all
how
I
you
can
look at
say
it.
is that they've done the restoration of River Shores since I've been here. And, I mean, the work that they did, it looks way better than it did before. So, you know.
And that would have been done a few years ago as
You know,
well.
to spend another $100,000 to completely rip up, you know, what we've got out here.
Oh, yeah, I gotta get that.
Frank, I know you had privy to the estimate. Just, do you recall some of the items that you could, being more knowledgeable about concrete? Or Johnny, anything? Because you guys saw that estimate that I had provided Patrick. I gave one to Patrick as well. The old River Shores president.
We just did our patio with the block shed talking about.
Mhm.
I had concrete, they wouldn't resurface it because it was cracked, the crack was on back. So we did what you did, my patio is nowhere the size of that, and I spent 10 just on that part. So honestly, I don't think the 90,000 is a outrageous number. We'll be, you don't have to do it again. It would be fine. I'd like to show you the picture.
Right, you'd have to see.
They come sealed.
They come,
The blocks come sealed.
it's fine.
I'm happy to share with you the estimate when I go up to my apartment. and
No, I don't need to see it, I'm just curious as to.
They were
what
vastly
was-
different.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Question in the back?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think I missed number 5. Did you kind of table that? Front hedge removal and replacement, frontage and move forward. I didn't really hear what happened.
They table it,
Jump
yeah.
over it.
Is that on the edge?
When, the front hedge removal and replacement, front entrance move forward. Well, the front hedge, I had questions about which hedge? Did
The
you
front
mean
hedge.
The
The
entire?
entire hedge, yes. So you indicated to Fred that I happened to hear, you have a company that would come out and take care of that?
No,
Oh.
when I met with you in your office, you said, you seem to know a lot about turfs, why don't you get some information? So I have a meeting today at 3 o'clock, a company I called New Turf. They do they recommended on fences to do more ivy-looking
Right.
display work. He's going to bring some samples, he's gonna take a measurement of which I already did, but he's gonna take his own measurement of what that would entail. But I didn't know if you were talking about taking down the little bush in front of where you have to pull out when you drive to look around the corner, or if you meant the entire bushes,
The problem,
because that's.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's a big
yes.
space
again-
and a big job to remove those,
It's like the
bushes.
pool,
yeah.
Marsite versus fiberglass. Those bushes are always going to be a problem. There's whitefly. Before there was the Australian pines there, another problem. You're correct, pulling out is an issue. They won't have to be trimmed, and then when they did the sidewalk, we can't put the bushes at the very end. So that is a very good idea. It would be worth, not quite just about it, I don't know what it's gonna cost. I was able to find a company, and I called him, and he was supposed to come out Friday. Good luck. I called quite a few fence companies, and I got Tropic Fence on the phone last week. They informed me they can't get that product because of the backlog or whatever, and it was not recommended.
That one?
Well,
No.
in the fence,
Oh,
in the
okay.
chain, I didn't get that far with the conversation, but I was actually able to speak to Tropic Fence on it. So, the smart thing to do with that front entrance is rip it all out and start over again. That's what I said, that's my
Same kind
opinion.
of shrubs or something different?
Oh, and then put in the green, you could put flower, the vine flowers.
He's saying a faux
Yeah.
front, instead of real bushes,
Oh.
to create a faux,
And wait a minute, it's not finished. The issue is, if you go look under them now, because the gardener is not gonna clean them. So as a result, you have a mess under there, it's easier to do that, and then you put the real flowers, and it's always green, it's a sound barrier, it will always look pleasant, you'll have something going up towards the north end, because you can't put any bushes there, and then if you want, just put small bushes that could easily be trimmed going all the way down. That could be done anytime, but just to get that hedge out of there, get rid of the problem. It's not just here. There was a problem with the vendor. It doesn't matter which vendor. It's like the pool. It's the same issue. You want to try and make things as little maintenance as possible.
I understand that. My fear is removing all the bushes before we have all the knowledge. This is not going to be cheap. This is not, you know, it's
Well-
payback over a long period of
Correct.
time.
So
But
there may
it's-
have to be a special assessment.
But it's something too that also owners need to, I think, have a little bit of an input on, other than just the five of us saying moving moving real live bushes to artificial
Right.
potential is a big change. And not a lot of people would want to see maybe what it
It would
could look like.
be fine.
It's cheap looking.
Yeah.
Well,
Not
Oh,
everywhere
Trailer
is
Park.
that.
it really, for the entire situation, I just said, you could put vine flowers going up. You could do something with it, but at least there won't be the mess under there. And the sound barrier, you can put it on the north part where there's this much dirt, you can't put a bush in there. So it will resolve a lot. And then fix it up as you go down, along. You don't have to do it all in one shot.
Tony, for once I agree with you on something, but is there anything ever gonna get done?
What did she just say?
Again, that's budget, that's why I had priorities. Let's make some priorities. We have to know how much is in our budget and how much going forward we are
Yes.
able to do. We can't do anything if we don't
Know what's in the
know
budget.
what's in the budget. So in order for
Yes.
any business to move forward, that's, to
Well,
me,
first,
a starting
it's,
point.
it's not a budget as much as does it have to be done, and then we have to find the money. The board is obligated to do its fiduciary duty, but we have to work together, and we have to see, oh, yeah, I think that works, and it should always be a 5-0 decision, rather than that's Tony, or we start making personal, but that's okay, that's where we're at. So, Gwendolyn, you
Yes.
mentioned that up in the office.
Yes.
You know what? You didn't see me, it's a good idea, and Fred happened to mention it at the same time. And you know what? You educated me. It's okay. That's the purpose of
Right.
it.
I just didn't want to have a pull out the bushes decision today, because
I didn't say we had to,
Oh,
but you're
okay.
getting that information.
Correct.
Get it back to the board. We can move forward if it's something reasonable. Let's say it's $25,000. We can move forward quickly with it, because by time the bush, I'm sorry, Fred, they could wait, we'll get to you. Could you just wait a minute?
He just had his, hey, he's had his hand up, that's why, that's all.
Okay.
That's all.
So, we can move forward, just get the information
Fine.
tentatively. Listen, if he could do it, we could find somebody to pull the bushes out, 1, 2, 3, it'll probably be a week. Who knows, it could all be done by the end of the month. March, who knows, we don't know. See what you can find out.
Okay, and this is only one company.
I got
of
it.
Many companies
Well,
out there.
I made quite a few calls. The big one who answered the phone took the time with me and says, it's a tough thing to get this, it's like whatever that we were saying, having the pool done or whatever.
Yeah.
Things take longer to get now.
Correct.
So, but you don't know, maybe they got a whole bunch of them in a warehouse they didn't sell, I don't
And again, they
know.
recommended more the ivy look for a fence rather than.
And that may be the answer.
Um,
Find out and let us know.
Do you have a next question?
Last year when we were taking and planting around here a bunch of plants, when I was working with Steve, Steve and I had gone up to Tony's office at the time and brought up the point that we had whitefly and whitefly fungus.
Mhm.
on some of the plants. And at that time, in the breezeways, we brought that up. He and I took and replaced some of